bandtraining.com. Just finishing up playing around with some workouts and exercises that I recently came up with after my annual trip to the University of Whitewater to work with a bunch of offensive and defensive linemen. You know, when you look at linemen, you know, one of the things that to me it always comes down to is their hips. And Coach Dankel at UW Whitewater always stresses, you know, Dave, the thing that you've taught us the most is how to get our linemen to get hips and get mobility through their hips. So it started me thinking, you know, I've been emphasizing a lot this summer with my high school boys camp that we need to get hip mobility. And so I've looked at a lot of ways that we can get hip mobility while still getting our strength training. Well, I came up with a little lineman drill that really is good for anybody, but specifically it's going to be going to seem like it's more of an offensive or defensive lineman drill, but it's going to be designed to help develop their shoulder strength, trunk stability, and put them down in a position that they need to play in a lot, which is a three-point position. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the band and we're going to hook it behind us. Now what you're going to see is I got the band set just a little bit higher. So I want it up a little bit higher so that when they push, okay, the band is going to come up and over top of their shoulder. Second thing you can do with this is a very easy drill to do with partners. We're going to use a red band. And honestly, guys, I don't think you need much more than that. I think that's all you're going to need with this drill because your linemen are going to struggle with this. Now, here's what you're going to get out of this exercise. You're going to get shoulder stabilization on one side. Great for rotator cuff activation, shoulder strengthening, and the ability to land on the ground and protect themselves and not get those shoulder dislocations or subluxations. On the other side, you're going to go ahead and get an overhead shoulder press exercise, which again, you're going to work on shoulder stability overhead while you're going ahead and working kind of a shoulder press movement. Third thing you're going to get is a lot of trunk stability. Yeah, the trunk is really going to get activated here and really teach them how to stabilize in that three-point stance and get their trunk on board, which in turn is going to get their hips on board, because now if their trunk's on board, you know their hips are ready to fire when needed. Last thing we're going to go ahead and get, we're going to get hip mobility. Yeah, because we're going to be down in that crouched position, they're going to have to learn how to mobilize their hips and keep it there. So a lot of things with one drill, but let me show you how it's going to work. We're going to put our athletes, and what I would do is I'd position my athletes like this. I'd get them into a kneeling position. If I'm not exercising, I'm going to go ahead and lock in and hold. If I can't hold like that, I'm going to just go up into this position and hold. So my holding partner behind me is going to be holding like this. If you want, you can go ahead and put it up here, and now they got to work on trunk stability while they're holding. Great idea. They can't hold in a kneeling position, then you're going to have to go to a standing position. From there, now the exercise person. The exercise person gets into a three-point position or with their knees and hands on the ground. They're going to pop up and they're going to hold that position. Now they're going to do an overhead press. Bang, bang. Just rocking it, locking it out, bringing it back. Very easy switch. You just go to the other side, lock it down and ready to go. Now, if you want to go ahead and get a little bit more hip mobility with it, get them into their stance, let them rock back down into their stance and then come exploding out. So it's going to look a little bit more like this. You're going to rock down, bang, and now they're going to learn how to drive up and out. Not only does that get their hips activated more, it also makes the stabilizing arm have to stabilize a little more aggressively. So there you go. Try that on your offensive or defensive lineman. Here's a little secret. My adults, I think, can do this too. And I'm going to have my adults do it. You know, the key is, with any exercise, if you can get people into the position safely, all you have to do is modify the band resistance so they're able to do it. You have a good time with this three-point or four-point, however you want to call it, three-point trunk stabilization shoulder press exercise that gets a lot of things working and a lot of things that we're not necessarily always good at.